Hey everyone, it's a Phoam Ranger here with another episode of Phoam Ranger Sports. This one we are introducing and going over Boise State Beach Volleyball for the 26th season that concluded in the springtime. So we'll start off with the team. Start off with the roster and the coaches and staff. For 2026, once it loads, is already updated for this upcoming season, 2027. So 2026, it starts off with sophomore 5 forward of Olympia, Washington, Susanna Barnett, number 1. Then it's number 2. Sophomore 5'7", Avery Allen out of Mahornet, Illinois. Then it's number 4. Eli Wolthius, senior, 5'8", out of Gilbert, Arizona. Then it's number 6. Avery Boydowitz, a 5'10", junior, out of Carlsbad, California. That's number 7. Addison Moss, a sophomore, 5'11", out of Pearland, Texas. Then it's number 8. Serena van der Maad, 5th year, 5'6", out of Maad, Netherlands. Then it's Addison Alden, number 9. A 6th year, 5'11", San Marcos, California. Transferred in from Miracosta College. Then it's number 10. Charlie Elena, 5'11", sophomore, out of Carlsbad, California. Number 11, Michaela Diamond, senior, 5'7", out of Oak Park, California. Number 12, Addison Wolden, a 5'9", junior, at Denver, Colorado. Number 15, Luna Ingaramo, freshman, 5'9", in Las Vegas. Then at 16th, the pretty much famous, more world famous Nor Haid, known as a Gothlete, a 6'1", junior, out of Boulder, Washington. Then it's number 20, Ava Anderson, a senior, 6'1", out of Rancho Santa Margarita, California. Number 21, Lily Patuk, a senior, 5'10", out of Sacramento, California. Number 22, Annika Christensen, 5'9", senior, out of Gig Harbor, Washington. Number 23, Abby Wolf, 6' senior, out of Federal Way, Washington. Number 24, Summer McCann, 5'5", junior, out of Phoenix, Arizona. Then number 25, Kira Zimerjian, 5' freshman, out of Wenatchee, Washington. Coaching staff, Alex Vernados, Michaela Hazard, and Alex Luna. Support staff, Gabe Rosenball. Administrator, Krista Fryer, athletic trainer. In terms of their schedule, again, I should note that before the start of the 25-26 season, the Boise State Beach Volleyball team moved from the Southern Conference to the Big 12 Conference, which is a pretty big move. And pretty cool as well. For their season, they started off with the win of the Beachboro Bash on February 20th, early in the morning, with the 3-2 win over Florida National in Boca Raton, Florida, which Florida National was receiving votes. Then later that day, in the early afternoon, they took on number 15 Florida Atlantic, losing 1-4. Then in the morning on Saturday, they took on Coastal Carolina, winning 3-2. Coastal Carolina was receiving votes at the time. Then later on, they took on Palm Beach Atlantic and won 4-1. Then the Broncos headed to LA for the Battle for LA. First game on the 27th of February, they lost 1-4 against number 2 UCLA. Then lost to number 3 Cal Poly, 0-5 later on that day. Then on February 28th, they won 5-0 over CSUN. And then later on, that day, they lost 1-4 against number 8, Loyola Marymount. Then they traveled to Columbia, South Carolina for the Carolina Challenge on March 13th. In the morning, they lost 2-3 against number 20, South Carolina. Then they beat North Carolina Wilmington 5-0 that afternoon. Then March 14th, they beat Jacksonville University 3-2. Then they beat the College of Charleston later that day 5-0. And they took on the Death Valley Invitational. In the first game of that on March 20th, they lost 2-3 against number 9 Cal. Then that afternoon, they took on Georgia State and lost 2-3. Then the morning on March 21st, they lost 2-3 against number 6 Florida State. And then later that morning, they lost 1-4 against number 12 LSU. In the Big 12 preview, in Forward, Texas. In Big 12 conference play, they lost to number 5 Florida State, 0-5. Then early afternoon, they won 3-2 against number 20 Arizona. Then on March 28th in the morning, they lost 0-5 against number 7 TCU. Then they beat number 19 South Carolina 3-2 later that morning. Then the Broncos hosted the Boise State Beach Classic. Starting off in the first game in the early afternoon on April 3rd, they blanked Oregon 5-0. And they beat Santa Clara 5-0 later that afternoon. Then April 4th, they won 5-0 against UTEP. And later the afternoon on April 4th, they won 4-1 against CSUN. The Broncos hosted the Boise State Beach Bash. In the early afternoon on April 10th, they beat South Florida 5-0. Then for a second time this season, later on April 10th, they beat Florida International 4-1. Then they hosted number 11 Grand Canyon soon after midday, losing 2-3 against number 11 Grand Canyon. And then in the later afternoon, they lost 1-4 against Washington team that was receiving votes. And they traveled to Seattle, Washington for the Alki Invitational. Late morning on April 17th, they won 5-0 against Portland. Then for the second time in the season, they beat Oregon 4-1 in the early afternoon. Then April 18th, they took on the host team, number 19 Washington, winning 3-2 in the soon after midday. Then once again, they took on Florida Atlantic. This time, Florida Atlantic was number 15 in the nation. In the mid-afternoon on April 18th, with the Broncos pulling off the upset 3-2. In the Big 12 Conference Championship presented by Allstate, the Broncos drew number 1 seed of Florida State on April 23rd in the morning, losing 1-4. Then took a number 4 seeded South Carolina little after midday, losing 1-4. Then on April 24th, they took on Arizona State in the late morning, winning 3-2, and then lost to TCU in the early afternoon on April 24th, losing 0-3. Broncos finished 20-16 on the year for a 56% win percentage, or 2-1 in conference play, 6-2 at home, 1-6 on the road, and 13-8 in neutral site games. In terms of pairs action, Adelison Alden and Addison Wilden went 5-3. From the number 1 pairs, Charlie Elena and Lily Patuk went 5-4, all for number 5 pair spot. Avery Allen and Ava Anderson went 5-3 on the season in pairs, going 4-3 number 2 pairs and 1-0 in number 3 pairs. Allison Alden and Serena Vandermeid went 5-3 for the number 1 pairs slot. Charlie Elena and Luna Ingaramo went 4-7 overall, 0-3 conference. There were 3-6 and number 5 pairs. Susanna Barnett and Summer McCann went 2-0 in pairs action. Kira Demergian and Charlie Elena went 2-3 in pairs play, all for number 4 pair slot. Kira Demergian and Serena Vandermeid went 2-6 in pairs play, going 1-0 number 2 pair slot and 1-6 in number 3 pair slot. Summer McCann and Lily Patuk went 2-0, all for number 5 pair slot. Avery Boywovics and Summer McCann went 2-3, 1-3 for number 5 pair slot. Charlie Elena and Eli Wolthius went 2-1 in pairs action, on 1 from number 5 pair slot. Eva Anderson and Anderson Wilden went 19-9. Overall went 2 in conference pairs, 6-4 in the number 1 slot, 9-5 number 2, and 4-0 number 3 slots. Anderson Moss and Eli Wolthius went 16-12 overall, 2-1 in conference. Which came as the number 4 pair slot. Allen and Kira Demergian went 14-6 over, 1-2 conference play, 4-0 for number 2 pair slot, and 10-6 for number 3 pair slot. Listen, Alden and Serena Van went 12-8 overall, 2-1 in conference play, 3-7 for number 1 slot, and 9-1 for number 2 pair slot. Lee Patuk and Ellie Wolthius went 1-3 overall, over 3 for number 5 pair slot. Kira Demergian and Lily Patuk went 1-2, all for number 4 pair slot. Livy Boywovics and Lily Patuk went 1-2 overall, all from number 5 pair slot. Susanna Barnett and Lily Patuk went 1-1 from the number 5 pair slot. Susanna Barnett and Lily Patuk went 1-1 for number 5 pair slot. Luna Ingaramo and Lily Patuk went 0-1 for the number 5 pair slot, and Susanna Barnett and Avery Boywovics went 0-1 for number 5 pair slot. As a team, the Broncos in pairs action were 104 out of 83 in matches, 6-9 in conference pairs actions. 19-7 for number 1 pair slot, 27-9 for number 2 pair slot, 19-17 for number 3 pair slot, 19-17 for number 4 pair slot, and 13-22 for number 5 pair slot. More water. In terms of individual, Serena Vandermeid went 7-9 individually, 5-3 for number 1. 1-0 for number 2, 1-6 for number 3 slots. Luna Ingaramo, 3-7 overall, 0-3 conference, all of which for number 5 singles slot. Summer McCann, 3-3 overall, for number 5 slot. Ava Anderson, 23-12, 1-2 conference play, 5-4 for number 1, 13-8 for number 2, and 5-0 for number 3 slots. Addison Walden went 23-11, 1-2 in conference, 10-6 for number 1, 9-5 for number 2, and 4-0 for number 3 slot. Allison Alden went 22-13 overall, 2-1 in conference, 13-12 from the first, and 9-1 from the second slot. Avery Allen, 22-14, 1-2 conference, 8-3 from first, and 4 from the second, and 14-11 from third slot. Avery Boywovics, 2-6 overall, all from the number 5 slot. Kira Demergian went 19-17. Overall went to conference, 5-0 from second, 11-12 from third, and 3-5 from fourth slots. Addison Moss, 19-17 overall, 2-1 conference play, 3-5 from third, and 6-12 from the fourth slot. Eli Woltius, 16-16, 2-1 conference play, 6-12 from fourth, and 0-4 from fifth slot. Serena Van went 12-8 overall, 2-1 conference, 3-7 from the first, 9-1 from the second slot. Charlie Elena, 10-14 overall, over 3 from conference, 2-3 from the fourth slot, 8-11 from the fifth slot. Lily Patuk went 10-13, 1-2 from the fourth, and 9-11 from the fifth. And Susanna Barnett went 1-2 in the season, all from the fifth slot. Annika Christensen, Michaela Demond, Nora Haid, and Abby Wolf did not compete this season. So all in all, I'd say a pretty good year for women's beach volleyball. Again, year one, in the Big 12 conference, and again the previous year they won the SoCon and played in the beach volleyball NCAA tournament. So again, taking on stiffer and tougher competition in the 26th season, which will get more prep for year 2 of the Big 12 era. Again, beach volleyball will not be in the Pac-12. They're going to stay in the Big 12. All the other Bronco Division I sports are in the Pac-12. Beach volleyball is the only one that will be in the Big 12. Again, beach volleyball only one in Big 12. Rest of the Division I NCAA sports for Boise State are in the Pac-12.